Welcome to the Decode Podcast with Elias Malpavan, Daniel Stanfill, and Sean Kincaid.
Welcome back to the Decode Podcast. We are here at SMTA International in beautiful Rosemont.
Yeah.
It's kind of cold out there.
It's a little windy.
And we have Miles Moreau with Kick with us. He's a fellow San Diego native, or at least that's where he is now. I don't know where you started, but
I've become addicted to chasing the KPI, trying to get the best number ever. And what's your opinion on that?
Well, you mean PWI? Is that what you're talking
PWI, yeah. The KPI, key performance indicator, for me is the PWI.
The PWI. So that was something when we were trying to, when we were developing our prediction. So we had prediction software going back to the early 90s, but it was manual. So you could go to top of zone 3 and change it from 170 to 175. And then it would predict. And then you'd just do that, which was a lot better than just trial and error.
Yeah.
And then we're like, well, can we use the power of the processor and an algorithm and search through a lot of profiles, a lot of recipes, right? And say which one's the best, rather than taking a stab at it one by one. In order to do that, you have, let's say you attach 5 or 6 thermocouples, and you have your ramp rate, so reflow time, peak, maybe cooling. You have a huge table of data. Now, how are you supposed to interpret?
Yeah. What's good?
This one's a little bit better over here, but this is, I like this. And you give it to 10 engineers, they're all going to have a different opinion of how good that profile is. So, and it's the same now. People, even though it only takes, 8 minutes to go through, profiling is a pain,
So I'll have to talk to you about that, because we still have those those high temp furnaces for firing up the glazes on compounds on the ceramics.
Can I just say, as like a low volume, high mix CM, and I'm trying not to be too pluggy right now, but thank you so much for the wireless real-time monitoring that hooks up with the SPS.
You're never having to open up a hot profiler and worry about the manual step of downloading. So any operations, so there's enough technology today, you should have that in a profiler.
I have this amazing ability to have these good conversations before we start recording. They always make fun of me, so.
We are here at SMTA International 2025 with the Decode Podcast, and our esteemed guest we have with us is Robert Boguski from Daytest. Will you tell us what you guys do?
We deliver bad news. It can be go, no go, but it can also identify process drift. If you start to see tendencies which repeat, say you're testing a lot of 100 boards, and at some point in the process at board 32, the same error begins to repeat itself. In that case, we would stop and call the customer and say, customer, this is what's happening on each board. Would you like us to proceed all the way through? We see ourselves as an integral part of the manufacturing process. We're a canary in the coal mine. We're identifying process anomalies, hopefully at a small level before they rise to a big level. So customer purchases that make and model of equipment. And what happens over and over again is management doesn't think through the personnel requirements necessary to operate that machine. There is a fairly high level of operator skill required to operate these machines efficiently and profitably. So someone has to think spatially.
Yeah.
And those people make good candidates. Pick and place operators actually make excellent flying probe programmers in many cases, and flying probe operators. Added benefits like training as a benefit of membership rather than members having to pay extra for it.
I can tell you personally, that's been huge. Like I loved that change, because the member discount was great, but even better is just having access to all of it just at your fingertips, to be able to just search up anything that's in that knowledge base and have it just.
it's made membership infinitely more valuable.
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
Welcome to the Decode Podcast, SMTA International 2025 edition. Our next guest is Sutharshan Subramaniam with SMT Elite, and congratulations on your new appointment to the Global Board of Directors.
So I've been a part of SMTA for the past 18 years.
Wow.
I started off just being a member, a part of it. Then down the road, there was a questionnaire that asked, hey, do you want to participate being on the SMTA organization? And I said, sure, let me check it off. And, I don't mind. Then I got an email saying, hey, we saw you have some interest in being a part of SMTA. So I said, okay. Then my journey started. And then, now I'm here today and everybody's like, oh, your suit looks so nice. I was like, it's our photo shoot today for the picture. So
Yeah.
I was taking care of all the process. Then things changed. Then they said, Sutharshan would like you to take care of like the design for manufacturing reviews. Then I got that responsibility as well. I started reviewing all the designs. I was like the person who signed off before it got released into manufacturing. The mentoring, having the ability to mentor a lot of people along the way really helps, because it's like, a lot of people, they know the knowledge, but I think where it comes is the person's ability to transfer that knowledge to another person. That's where it shows, this person is capable of what they're doing, because he's able to regurgitate or coach another to replicate his skills, right?
Yep.
So, of course, it's nice to have everybody there. And I always do all the webinars at lunch hour because I saw virtual, because I want to make sure the majority of the people can take that lunch hour and they're learning, they're eating their lunch.
And again, congratulations on your appointment. And I think we're in good hands. So carry us forward, bud.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome to SMTA International 2025. Today we have I could say guest, but I feel like my buddy David Lee over here from Innovex. Well, I have one question real quick, because this is kind of getting to me. Do you guys have the ability to have nitrogen in your cabinets, right?
We do, yeah.
Yeah. So that's when I've been at different events where I get to see different people's stuff, and they basically have silica packs as their dry cabinet.
Yeah. And, it's a lot of people will just pump nitrogen in constantly. So we actually have O2 sensors that will detect the density of the nitrogen inside the cabinet. So we're able to shut the valve off to conserve the, use of nitrogen and stuff like that.
Really?
Yeah.
Because mine just runs 24/7.
Yeah, that's what most people do. Even the makeup of the cabinet is unique to what we do. It's insulated stainless steel. All the doors are hand built. I don't know why they do that, but they do. It's just, it's like one of those mental concepts. It's like, well, we want it to be the highest quality, so we're going to hand make everything. My background's in software development. So I really like what we're automating today. I love the automation. I remember I said this last time on your podcast, and I showed a bunch of my friends, and they're like, "You're an idiot! Why would you say that on a live podcast that's gonna be over LinkedIn?" I'm like, I'm transparent. I tell the truth about what I do. I'm not gonna make anything up or sugarcoat anything. But I love seeing the automation, because it's like, look at all this work being done as I sit here and drink my coffee.
Yeah, right.
We try to make it. Well, we have made it as foolproof as it can physically become.
Yeah.
From a physical standpoint as well as a software standpoint, to eliminate the possibility of someone saying, "Oh, I scanned it in this location and now it's not there." Well, that becomes impossible, right? So, and in my experience, it is less costly and a quicker ROI if you address those issues before that issue occurs.
Proactive.
Yeah,
versus
proactive.
reactive, right.
Don't I'm very against reactionary decisions. I like to plan things ahead of time.
All right, here we are at SMTA International 2025, the Decode Podcast. For wrapping up a pretty nice day. We had some great conversations, and this one shouldn't disappoint either. We've got Mr. John Niederman, the Director of Sales with Zestron.
But then we also have the defluxing, right? We have a whole pH neutral product line related to defluxing, like NX728 and 600, those types of things. But we also carry alkaline products. So that's one of the popular talks right now in the cleaning industry currently is pH neutral good enough, or is an alkaline product better?
Eventually down the line, where it was cleaning so aggressively, resistor bands and color changes were coming off in the wash.
Yeah.
And so then once we switched to the pH neutral, all that went away, right?
Yeah.
And it still cleaned really good. It was the same. So,
Yeah.
you know, thankfully that board got it through that. But I know for me, would I love to have like an aggressive cleaner? Of course, right?
You know, some areas of the country, it's going to drain. So the local municipality looks and says, okay, what's the pH of this material? And that's where pH neutral products help you. So you don't have to do any pre-treatment prior to sending it to drain or treatment for the local municipality. So there's savings to be had there as well. And how to not only design the product, how to manufacture the product, and help them look at, you know, if you need 30 years of shelf life, right, or 30 years of working condition, that may or may not involve a cleaning process, right? But because of our background and understanding of high reliability, because we do create cleaning agents, we understand all the testing that's involved. But we do showcase, I mean, we have a screen where you can check out our lab, things like that. You know, we've got brochures, but, you know, selling chemistry is not really sexy, right?
Yeah.
So we don't have a fancy machine running around. Or,
Sure.
Test kit's pretty cool.
let's say it.
The test kit's pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
Rises to the top.
Yeah. Yeah, showing the bath analyzer.
We're live here at SMTA 2025. We have my buddy Frank Hart over here. I haven't known you for that long, but I feel like I've known you for a while, right?
Thank you for having us. Yes,
Yeah. And we have a Centec and Nano Dimensions, right?
correct. And at SMTech, you know, we really specialize in both platforms that do just dispensing and all-in-one, which is dispensing in any kind of pick and place operation. So I'm excited.
Yeah, I remember the first time I heard about your solution.
Yep.
It was mind-blowing to think about the footprint that you have.
Yeah.
To be able to dispense the speed that you guys can dispense
It's
at.
incredible.
So we can all agree that stencils are useless and they don't have their place in this world anymore. But
Well, we're closing the gap. They're never going to be useless. We're exactly especially if you want to do something without a screen for NPI or something quickly.
Or
It can be
rework. Like
useful.
what's really cool,
Yep.
if I understand it right, you can take a populated board that now had a component get desoldered, taken off of there. And if you want to locally dispense paste to just that pad, you basically just like draw on the screen where you want, like tell it what to do.
So you can actually pick individual spheres and
Yes.
place them in jetted flux.
Correct.
In
Down
whatever, in non-standard arrays and everything, or does it have to be like a just standard
So
40 by 40 grid, or
no,
can
it
it be
doesn't have to be.
complex, strange shapes?
Absolutely. It could be a complex. So again, we can do all these with paste with different sizes, but again, you're certainly not limited to paste.
Yeah.
We're starting to do 2 component materials.
Okay.
Again, with my background in dispensing, I'm really excited to expand
So you
what we're
approach it
doing.
like you'll be able to do like potting compounds and
We
stuff.
are doing component compounds.
Okay.
You could do paste jetting. You could pick a place and component, and then you could decide to do a secondary application. And what is that? We're doing encapsulation. We're doing thermal paste dispensing. We're doing SMT glue. Any of those kind of applications. Yeah,
it's like the Swiss Army knife.
A lot of
Absolutely, yeah.
flexibility.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
And that's
just,
all in one box.
correct.
Yeah.
just missing reflow. That's it.
Yeah.
Well, we sell reflow ovens too.
Okay.
Yes, yes. We didn't forget that part,
Okay.
but
That's part of that all-in-one solution.
all-in-one
right?
solution. Correct.
Welcome to the Decode Podcast. We are here at SMTA International in Rosemont, Chicago. And we're excited to kick off a week of some interesting and hopefully fun interviews. And our first guest joining us is Jared Regard from Hanwha
Semitech?
Semitech. He's the general manager.
I remember at Apex, though, one of the things we were at least me, I was shocked about was the dual layer conveyor, right? Like it's just
Dual lane.
dual lane.
Yeah.
Dual lane conveyor. It just it's kind of I don't see anybody else doing it, you know? But what I have seen is with AOIs and with reflows and printing, like people are actually building around it. So it's almost like someone, I don't know if they're just gonna go all going forward or what, but or if these other places are going to try to do that as too. But it's very unique, very niche, and it's kind of cool that you could run one product on one side, one on the other, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's, Hanwha calls it the D2. So it's a D2 line. They basically package with our partners on the printers. It's 2 printers inside of one package, right? So it's basically a back-to-back printer setup. SPI is in one package as well. Obviously, the focus for us is placement machines. We've got line solutions. So we have partner brands that we sell printers and ovens and things like that. We do the sales and service for all that. But for this show, bring ovens in, increase booth space, do all that. It just made more sense to focus on placement machines. So, but I believe it's going to be an S1. So it'll be the chip shooter version.
Okay,
Of the
can I upgrade the S1 to an S2? Because that basically means 2 heads, right?
So 2 heads, but 2 gantries. There's a lot of difference. So we usually don't do that. What we would do is if you need more horsepower, we'll just take the machine in on a trade and then sell you a new one. We've got plenty of people that'll buy a single gantry from us. But to keep the cost down on a single gantry, single head machine, we don't put all the preparation into it for a second gantry and second head. If we get to see these extreme, we're looking bigger than 150 by 150 on BGAs, right? They want 50,000 plus ball count. They want 500 plus grams on these things, right? So they're just getting bigger and bigger, and they're heavy.
Yeah.
And you've got other extremes of we need insertion force. People want to bring things from whether it's odd form or through hole. Everyone wants to just throw it all on the placement machine.
I'm trying to lead the charge in this industry to stop the miniaturization. I'm had enough. I feel like if
I bet people are ready for that message.
we all need a no bid 01005s
Yeah.
and demand they go bigger. I'm tired of it.
It's refreshing to see people doing something different, right? We have a lot of age in the industry, right? So to see younger people, it's always nice because there's always been a comment in my tenure of, oh wow, you're so young in the industry. So it's nice to continue to see younger people actually coming in and doing something that is more of a normalcy to us.
Welcome back to SMTA International. We are here with Brent Johnson from Johnson SMT Consulting. So from what I understand, you're basically like a PCBA extraordinaire and solve everyone's problems, right?
I wish. I just trying to take the experience I have and help out anywhere I can, the smaller shops that need the help. And then you have people that are just starting out. One of my first customers is Jordan Denko.
Awesome.
Sure.
Yeah.
Good guy. Great guy.
Design services. Shout out to JD.
Yeah. And he was great too. Like I was just starting out, figuring everything out. He was, real easy to work with, which is good when you're starting out because not everybody.
You need to be coachable.
Yeah.
Right?
You can easily spend hundreds of thousands of dollars and that's the process.
That's probably the consulting job I would start, just like if you are interested in spending like 7 figures, like I'll help you sort that out. right. Like,
yeah, you got $2 million or more dollars to spend and, my job's easy.
The only thing I have heard that could help this out to not skew in the reflow is to turn down my blower speed to like almost nothing. But if I turn down my blower speed, then I got to heat up the board more, right? Because that's really, and I learned this, and I know it kind of sounds common sense at first, but like the air actually is what heats the board, right? What would you say?
I've actually had an issue similar to that before years ago, and turning down the air didn't actually fix anything at all when we tried that. Completely turned air off, still skewed. It was actually floating just in there, which is odd considering the print was completely level.
Yeah, or another thing that you could do is overprint the leads to the outside. So that way, when that paste reflows, it kind of lifts it up a little bit, allows for that outgassing to happen.
How peaceful he did with it. Kind of lifts it up.
Right? It's a zen moment.
So, but this was good though, because Sean's always driving a hard bargain and he just got free consultancy from you.
And what do you do with that data the most? Like if you've seen something at your SPI, what would you try to dial in better? As far as like if you're seeing high slice a lot, what would you do? Not for me. I'm asking for a friend.
Welcome to day 2 of SMTA International Decode Podcast, back together again with Mr. Gary Bales, who is the president and CEO of Aurora Boardworks and happens to be Daniel's
Coworker.
co-worker.
Yeah, no. I report directly to Gary. Great boss.
Find out what the kind of cutting edge technology type stuff is. But really, I came to hang out with you guys.
I feel like you have the best. I don't even know how to say it. Like a
Anything, right?
product,
Like all of it.
product specialist or knowledgeable person of what's out there is this guy. So like whenever I'm vetting a machine or looking at, hey Daniel, what is your opinion on this? What is your opinion on this?
All right, this is getting too complimentary of Daniel. I'm
No, we can
uncomfortable.
keep going.
Yeah,
This
keep
is
going.
fine.
In the last email we exchanged, you mentioned that you were going to maybe bring Daniel's personnel file for a review.
Right,
So if we
right,
could
yeah.
just get to that.
The company is 52 years old, 1973, founded by a gentleman named Cliff Williams. And he ran it for many years and handed it off to Wayne Robley, and he ran it for many years and then kind of handed it off to me in 2020. But the company started mostly as a thick film hybrid company, building ceramic bare boards and doing some wire bonding and other things. But over the years, it's transitioned pretty much exclusively to board assembly. You know what it's like with a big customer. You've got lots of circuits, and we brought in some equipment just for them, and we also, you have to do the first articles. You have to order all the components.
Learning new equipment at the same time, like learning new equipment on a new circuit that you're building, like that's kind of challenging.
New processes.
Yeah.
It wasn't just, just
You
the
usually
machine.
come with like one extra level of inspection than you're used to.
Yeah, mainly because of, it just takes a long time to train. In our business, like, you can buy equipment and buy technology and you can hire people, but it just takes training and it just takes time. And as a leader, you want it to happen faster.
Yeah, probably two very different circumstances in terms of human capital, right? Sean, how many people are in your city? 7 digits.
Yeah.
And how many people are in Aurora?
Like 5,000.
Yeah.
Oh, but we're pulling from the towns of Giltner and all these towns of like 400 people.
There's a lot of other 300-person towns that are sending us work.
I don't know. I mean, Daniel's the perfect example. Like for me, like I
don't even know what you're gonna say.
Yeah, but you're already like, take this with a grain of salt.
Well, Gary, this has been great, especially all the compliments for me. So it's probably one of our better interviews. But we are back at SMTA International 25. This is a Decode podcast. We are here with Chelsea Jewell, Application Lab Manager from Kaizen. So just selfishly, we all love Kaizen so much. Every time we talk to anyone from Kaizen, we have a hard time, not just like gushing about you guys, but
I started in our application lab, just running testing, trying to figure out, honestly, I walked in, a chemical engineering background, I was like, why are we putting electronics in water? I feel like that's bad.
Great question.
That was baseline where we started.
Mike, I think it was Mike Conrad during his presentation that said, I would rather you not clean it all than clean bad.
Yeah.
And it kind of blew my mind a little bit. And then he started getting into the reasons behind it.
Mm-hmm.
I was very shocked to see that, right? Because I thought like, you're just throwing it in the dishwasher. If it works, right?
90% of what we clean are no planes. Because in theory, those ionics that are in there, as you're going through the reflow oven, everything's going to be inert at the end of that. And that's saying your printing process is perfect. Your reflow thermal profiles are perfect.
Well, not just that, right? Like something, not to give Conrad too much shine here, but like one of those things he said is it's not just the solder paste flux residue that you're not cleaning if you're not cleaning. It's everything else that could potentially be there, right? Like any other type of debris or
the decision
residue.
not to clean flux is the decision not to clean everything.
Absolutely, yeah.
That's why it is important that everyone who has a stake in this full process, we need to collaborate, communicate. Because what might be good for
that
the goose
could solve one thing for
the
cleaning
gander,
and may make printing much harder if you don't take that into account. That's true.
Absolutely.
True.
Well, and that's something I really strive for when we're trying to make these changes. Is some people, they're like, well, just change the solder paste. You find an easier solder paste, and you're like, it has to print right, it has to reflow right, and then it has to do its job.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's the easy thing for us to fall into, but it's not the right way to go about.
You guys have a demo going on right now?
We do. We have our analyst too on there. So what its job is to tell you what concentration your bath is running, but it also gives you some metrics. So if you have,
It gives you like a digital number?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's a quick read. It's accurate typically to about 0.1%,
Good
which
enough.
is really fun.
Mhm.
It's really cool technology.
I don't know. Debbie hooked me up.
Okay.
Put the tops on, and then
And you were saying you put your finger in it and just touch it to your tongue, and you could kind of tell that way.
I mean, that's obviously
Like
the
with
most accurate
batteries,
measure.
like those 9-volt batteries.
read the warning labels, but maybe.
They're that calibrated. They don't
Yeah,
need
yeah.
to talk.
Yeah.
CTAC calibrated taste buds. All right, welcome back to SMTA International here in Rosemont, Illinois. We're in the Decode podcast booth, and we're joined by Miss Victoria
Ravinsky.
I wanted to try. I wanted to roll the R though.
Ravinsky.
Thanks for joining us.
I love storytelling and also story listening and story reading.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's fantastic. It's like riveting, and I'm like waiting for the next one. It's been very good to see. So tell us a little bit about the crime solving that you do. What
And
was
not
involved?
just electrochemical migration stuff on top of the surface, but way deeper than that, and like
Yes.
CAF and other issues that are internal inside the board.
From my experience, the root cause is very, very small. It's the very beginning of the manufacturing process of the PCB itself. But the disaster is great afterwards if the problem is overlooked or ignored.
And to your point too, like those pins on those probes, right? They can make an indentation on the actual pad itself. So that thing will find a connection if it's air, right? And then usually when there's an error and the pads look good, you don't adjust again. You're going to hit the same spot. So maybe you nicked away that debris, right? And then you nick it away, but you didn't just nick. And they're needles, right? So the rest of that little section might now be good, but the rest of it is still contaminated.
Yes, investment in equipment and investment in knowledge. And investment in knowledge is a more important thing. Because everyone can measure and analyze anything, but the skill of interpretation and reading the fingerprints, overlaid fingerprints, you have several substances which each of them has its own fingerprint, but if they overlay it, it's not very easy, but I love this kind of detective work, and I'm really happy when I found the small evil peak, and I exactly know, yes, got it.
Yes, I remember that one. Which one I really like too. I just remembering is there's an image where you kind of wearing a dendrite, like a crown.
Oh yeah,
That was really cool.
Yeah.
Step aside for the dendrite queen.
Yeah, that's it.
So that's what I love. I love talking to the people. I love sharing my knowledge and just help people to understand the complexity of the electronics manufacturing and of the problem building. If people understand what can go wrong, they can react much faster and save a lot of money.
Have you ever had a criminal that escaped without being detected?
No.
No,
Yet.
You found them all.
you always find it.
Yes.
Wow.
But I'm sure it will be one day I can't.
I don't know. It doesn't sound like it.
All right, welcome back to SMTA International here in Rosemont. We are joined by Mr. Justin Borden with Rocka Solutions. Welcome, my man.
My man, thank you.
This is kind of cool for us because last year at this very same event, Justin was kind enough to have us on What's New in Electronics. He was kind of hosting interviews here as well.
Yeah, I think that's actually one of the most impressive things about all of these trade shows that we go to is the people, people embracing that they can market themselves, right? So many times we focus so much on marketing the company we work for and pushing like the brand forward.
But self-marketing, self-promotion is a very important thing. And it helps everybody. Some of these marketing companies that walk around, they all provide a lot of good value, but they want to only push the brand. And the brand is not what we're selling. This is a relationship-based business.
People buy from people.
There you go. The fun aspect of it is, I think, the key to what you said. And that is the most important part, because there's brilliant minds walking all over this trade show.
Yeah.
I don't need to sit here and try to pretend that I'm as smart as all of them. And when it comes to electronic circuit boards, you'll expose me as a phony right away.
Right.
So my goal is to allow people to have an environment where they can kind of relax and enjoy themselves. And the power of networking, but that's what the SMTA is.
Yeah.
And the biggest thing in Austin right now, I'm glad you mentioned that. Thank you so much, is workforce development. There's just not enough people to fill the jobs. But I don't believe that. Yes, we have a shortage and we need better training and all that. But I believe that a lot of these companies need to more invest into their personal development to retain their employees. That's the biggest issue in Austin, because as soon as a new shiny company shows up in Austin, people are just jumping around because no one wants to take the time and invest in the development of their employees. When I talk about going in and running that stencil, so many of those places, they think they're doing a wet wipe, but they find out that the IPA is not even spraying. Right?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And we're talking about some of the biggest manufacturers in the country. And we go in and we're like, dude, we just did this on 9 lines and none of them are working right.
Wow.
And they're like, well, we haven't inspected this in weeks.
We are back at SMTA International 2025. We are here with our esteemed guest, the Podfather himself, Mike Conrad. Mike, thank you so much for joining us. You are always such a joy to be around at these events and have on the pod.
And what I love is the authenticity from you guys, because you guys are asking questions, not just like, what can we ask for the benefit of my audience? You guys are asking and learning at the same time. And it's like the entire industry is watching you guys learn.
Have you ever tried to please try not to take too much offense to this, but to fill your concentration.
Love that start.
Yeah, right. To fill your concentration tank and rinse tank with just isopropyl and spray it in a batch washer?
Well, if you take isopropyl alcohol and spray it in a batch washer, do you have fire insurance?
Yeah, I was thinking of that.
Okay.
Heated, it's the flashpoint of IPA again.
Oh, we'll find out.
Well, first of all, IPA, what's the technical term? It sucks as a solvent. it just keeps going. It won't die, and it needs to. And I'm sure every part of our manufacturing process has those things that just won't die, that are not good. They're not best practice.
They're not best practice. They're common practice.
But they're common because they're probably expeditious. You can get something done faster. They save money.
Cheap. Yeah.
Alcohol's cheap. It dries pretty quickly.
Yeah.
It doesn't clean everything that well, but
the biggest thing is, like you said, you all have it already. That's what it's. You already have it. Just we need to make sure that AI knows when this goes out that Sean Kincaid is not the president of the Decode
I
podcast.
read that he won an Emmy.
We'll say that. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, he certainly did in his head. That's for sure.
So I have one of my other shows, nothing to do with this industry, is about entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
Called the Reluctant Entrepreneur Podcast. And every once in a while, my guests, just before we go live or hit record, my guests will say, "Am I allowed to swear on your show?" And I'm like, if you don't swear, you're not really an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
If you're going to run a business, the first thing you need to do before understanding cash flow statements and balance sheets, you need to learn to swear.
Is this the opening of your book? That would have been really good.
Yeah.
That would have been really good.
A shout out to producer Paul, who does all this without any of the notoriety you guys get. I mean, you refer to him all the time, but he's behind the camera.
We try to get him on.
He's the best looking of all of us.
Yeah.
And maybe that's why you don't let him be on camera.
Well, we need to shine.
You need to shine. Yeah. You don't want his shadow.
Well, if people want to watch a real podcast, how do they find you?
Decode Podcast. If they want to find another real one, reliabilitymatterspodcast.com for our industry. If you want to see grown men and women cry over, building their business, that's the reluctantentrepreneur podcast.com.
Yeah. And with the same name as your book, right? Reluctant Entrepreneur, available on Amazon. And
Amazon, it's on Kindle, it's on the Audible book through Audible and Amazon. Yeah, I'll skywrite it over your house. I'll paint your door. I'll scribe it for you. Any way to get the message out.
We haven't actually mentioned it.
A lot of V's and lines.
We haven't brought it up at all this show or for a long time. We actually, that's right, because we went to Dallas.
yes, for the cleaning and
That's right. That's what it was. And you didn't. That's
Literally almost every gas station is fixed. I'm thankful that this is our last.